It is the Riot Podcast. Good Monday, January 23rd show for you. Really good show. I want to start off by saying, Isaiah, what are your big plans for tonight?
Oh, we didn't mention it. We didn't bring it up. What's tonight?
He doesn't know what tonight is.
I have no idea what today is.
You don't know what tonight is?
Monday, the 23rd.
Monday in the late January?
Late January.
Monday, January 23rd.
It's feeling hot.
Hot.
Is
Well,
today
just
a
because
big
there's
day?
lots of people.
There's love in the air.
Love in the air.
What are we at? What is today?
Do you
What
not
is it?
have
Prizes will be
plans
handed
tonight
out at some point.
To watch something?
What's going on? Oh, no way!
It's The Bachelor.
They're starting up The Bachelorette tonight?
No,
There
The
it is.
Bachelor starts tonight.
Oh, yeah, with Zach.
Zach
right?
the Bachelor.
You're
will
supposed
be
to have all your friends over
I
to
know.
watch.
You're right. We
down.
haven't even texted in the group message. Odd. That's why I'm kind of confused.
Thrown off,
I
huh?
know. But I don't have plans tonight. No one said anything yet
Oh,
about
well, you
watching
can come
The
watch
Bachelor.
it with me then if you want.
No, I'm sure I'll figure it out. I mean, I'm sure we'll go somewhere.
There's still a lot of time left in the day to not have
Dang.
that be it.
That's wild. I was so caught off guard.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been thinking about the NFL playoffs and the Cavs, and then all of a sudden, The Bachelor's back in
You
action.
gotta
I'm excited.
lock that down tonight
So-
because we need you to report back tomorrow
Oh, I will.
and let us know what
I'll
we
watch it.
miss.
I'm definitely gonna watch it.
So The Bachelor's the one where it's the guy and it's the women contestants.
It's my favorite version
The
of
very
it.
version.
When there's all the ladies and just the one guy. That's my preferred way.
Imagine being the guy in that scenario.
What an incredible lifestyle.
I don't know. I think it'd be a nightmare.
You think it'd be a nightmare?
Yeah, I do.
I think it'd be kind of awesome. Being wanted by so many ladies.
It seems awesome. I think.
From a distance, it seems cool, but
Yeah.
it must be very hard to only be known for that for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah.
And to have a normal relationship with someone
And
must be almost impossible.
To try to juggle all those women, all that emotion.
It's not easy. I mean, obviously, as a single man, I'm doing it all the time right now.
You might as well get paid
Women
for
just
it.
throwing
Yeah.
themselves at me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be a lot, just so much drama. There's so much drama in it, and that would be the thing that would stress me out.
Right.
I'd be like, why are you guys being so much right now? And so that would be the thing that would make me upset.
Now, talking of dating shows, I don't know if you guys watch football this weekend. Have you seen the promotions for the country, the farmer dating show?
I
Farmer
saw
Needs a
one
Wife.
ad for it.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I only caught the end of it. I thought it was a parody. So like, but then I was like, well, wait.
When does that premiere?
I thought it was like a funny pre-Super Bowl sort of commercial.
Farmer wants a wife, right?
Farmer wants a
Yeah.
wife. So is the guy
Real
the
love is
farmer?
back.
Oh my gosh, there's a British version of that show that was made 20 years ago.
Oh.
But
Dude,
I
look
want
at
to
these
see
guys.
when the American version actually is supposed to
Country.
air.
Yeah.
March 8th is the premiere. for
Farmer Needs
Wants
a Wife.
And I want to watch that as I'm intrigued by that.
In an ironic way.
I
or...
mean, these boys are blue collar, straight up.
I want to see how country they actually are
If they-
because
Yeah,
That's the name of the game there. How country can you be?
Because
Right.
I feel like knowing how Hollywood can be just a lie, these could be like city boys who are just trying to get in on a
Yes.
show.
They look like Luke Bryan. That's who they all look
And
like.
they're all not actually farmers.
Actually, Isaiah and I talked about this off the air. I said, I don't know if they're real country enough. They're too good looking. I said, they're more country singer country
Yeah.
than redneck farmer country.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if
But
it'll be
maybe
as
we-
funny or entertaining as I want because
but
I'm
we
not sure
don't
going to believe
spend any
it.
time in the country, so maybe we don't know that there's some really attractive farmers.
I mean, there are, but that's not how they.
I mean, look at me.
they're not.
You're not a farmer.
I am a farmer.
He's
You're
a
not a
farmer when it's
farmer.
I'm
convenient for
country.
him.
You're not
I went on
country.
the show. I went on the show. I'm country enough. I'll be on Farmer Wants a Wife. I think I'd make a good contestant.
Do you want a wife?
I don't know.
I can't. Let's end it now.
I can't be sure.
We'll just talk more about The Bachelor tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody get ready for that. Lots in the podcast today, including National Pie Day.
Mm-hmm.
And we did try the Friends Hazelnut Mocha Creamer. So if you are watching this podcast, when you're done, hop to the video before and you can catch that Riot Food Fight.
Anything else, or should we just let the podcast speak for
Let it
itself?
speak for itself.
I think sometimes we say let things speak too much.
Talking about a bunch of good stuff. Lots of goodness in
So
it.
I think we'll just let it all be a
All
surprise.
right, enjoy, and we'll catch you next
Bye,
time.
guys.
See you guys.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
For our Monday tradition, the box office recap. We look at the box office, the totals, the numbers that movies were bringing in over the weekend, see how they did. And once again, has this been 6 weeks running now?
Yeah, I think so.
Avatar: The Way of Water, although it's really dropping off at this point. It was number one, but only $20 million over the weekend.
They did say worldwide, though, it has now crossed over $2 billion.
$2 billion, which is
was
insane.
The magical mark that it needed to technically be like breaking even.
Yeah. Do you feel like we're getting
Fatigue?
No, I feel like I've been gaslit by Avatar: The Way of Water.
What do you mean?
If it wasn't for Isaiah seeing it like opening weekend, I don't know anybody who's seen it, talked about it, referenced it, mentioned anything about it, except for James Cameron.
What if they're lying? And
That's what I'm saying.
There's no one actually going to see the movie. It's a laundering sort of thing.
Yeah, and they can just put these numbers out, and who are like, how would anybody call them on it?
I don't know. I agree with you though. I don't see anybody else, but it is still number one worldwide.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. Number two,
the other
holding
strange
strong, that's been almost at number two for almost 5 weeks straight. Maybe it's fallen in and out of there, but the new Puss in Boots movie, The Last Wish, the cartoon for children.
Yeah.
That's a spinoff of Shrek. It's still going strong at the number 2 spot a month after it was put out in theaters.
People are surprised that it's also hanging on.
It's made $126 million just stateside. Forget about, I'm assuming it's made money internationally as well.
I know, but I don't think it's made a lot internationally.
You don't think so?
It just doesn't feel like that.
It doesn't appeal, but it's got Antonio Banderas.
I guess.
So, like in Hispanic countries, he's a star there, right? Like
I don't know.
I think he's bigger there, right?
Than here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's still number 2. Number 3, Megan. It got jumped by Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Megan made $9 million, and then we made an error on Friday. We didn't predict how much the new releases would make, and the top new release comes in at number 4. It's Missing.
Yeah, that was the one I told Hudson. I kept seeing the ad where they're like, my mom's missing.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that ad at all.
And you're just like, swipe past.
So I had no idea what it was. I probably still would have assumed it would make more than $9 million, though, and come in 4th place.
I don't know. It feels low, but it feels like it was promoted a lot, but it just wasn't a big release.
And also probably didn't spend a lot of money to make it.
Sure.
So, and then A Man Called Otto, that's the Tom Hanks movie, is number 5. You watch anything this weekend?
I watched a lot of football. I know we'll talk about football, later in the show. I watched a ton of football, so I don't know if it was just like everybody else. We didn't go see the movies.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch much else.
That was a good choice. For me, obviously, I did watch a lot of football as well, but I watched 2 movies.
What'd you see?
I watched Top Gun Maverick.
Hey!
Yeah, and you know what? I get it.
You liked it?
I get why people like it a lot. It's not, here would be my, bullet point review is, unlike the planes in the movie, the plot doesn't take very many twists and turns. But
nice.
But that said, it is just the plane stuff is just so cool. It's it's just a cool movie, and so it's just a good time to watch. And I would watch it again. So I understand why it made a lot of money. I imagine it'd be even cooler if I watched it in the theater than on my TV. So I understand why people like it so much.
What was your other one?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, well, there you go.
Would you like a review of that?
Is that
it doesn't hold up very well.
Did they make a show, or was that it's the old movie?
Yeah, with Rick Moranis, and he is an inventor, and he shrinks his kids.
Yeah.
And left out of the title, but he shrinks the neighbors as well. That was fairly important. And then at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, the parents of the children next door are they become friends. I would be pretty upset. Don't you think you'd be pretty upset?
Now you got to let things go.
They didn't get along beforehand, and then he shrinks the kids, and now they're like, hey, let's be friends.
I know it's
not
upsetting,
how it works.
But it's a really old movie from it's a kid's movie.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's worth getting upset about since it's not really pertinent to nowadays.
Yeah, they don't make movies like that anymore.
I guess not.
For good reason, I think.
Just focus on the fact you like Top Gun. That was it.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Brought in Isaiah. You have some expertise on this matter because you're a golfer.
I have golfed, yes.
How long has it been since you golfed?
I haven't golfed since, what are we, in January? Probably 6 months.
All right, you're excused. Nikki, I've got you because you're Dr. Nikki.
Yeah, okay.
And then I'm the layman in this situation. But I'm seeing here that, now this is in the UK, but doctors at the University of St. Andrews School of Medicine have teamed up with the organizers. They do a lot of stuff with golf, but they're the organizers of what they call the Open. We might say the British Open, just of golf, like one of the major golf tournaments. And they've developed a new initiative called Golf for Health, where basically this frees up or gives doctors the option to prescribe rounds of golf.
Oh, for your health?
To non-golfers for their health. What do we think of this?
I think it could be true. It depends on how you golf, though.
What do you mean?
I used to live on a golf course on one of the holes.
Yeah.
And people were so smashed by the time they got to my house.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And so I think any health benefits felt more like they had a problem.
Yeah, it could be canceled out.
I think maybe if we meet, or even like if you go to Top Golf, like that, you eat your way
There
through
you go.
it. So does the doctor want you to just go play golf and relax and not drink and eat?
I think the idea, even though they're going to tell you to go golf,
Because they want you to walk the course.
they want you to
Yeah.
walk the course and get out in the, in the U.S. it'd be in the greenery, but in the U.K. the grayness. Get out,
The fresh
be
air.
in the nature, and get a round of golf in. Yeah. Do you think? You're the golfer. Do you think it benefits your health when you get into it?
I would say for the majority, people probably know.
Why do you say that?
Because you're going to go out there and you're going to be so angry by the time you finish the first hole.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to finish the last 17. When he said he's prescribing this to people that don't play golf, do you think this is going to be a fun experience for them? Absolutely not.
And I go, like, do you walk normally or do you get like a
Oh,
cart?
I'm riding the cart every time. A 0% chance. If you try to walk it, like, it is not easy. Like, it's not easy. If you do 18 holes, like, you're going to be exhausted. So if you,
That's like
it'd be
thousands
terrible.
of yards, isn't it?
Yeah, it's far.
So yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I've never actually golfed, although I've done like driving range and stuff. And I know that if I got out and started playing a round of golf, I would be, I'm competitive. I can't let that go, even though it's something I have no prior experience with, whatever. Even if I wasn't playing against somebody, I'd be like, I want to have a good score. I don't want to shoot a 200 on this course.
It'll stress you out.
Yeah, so I'd be out of golf clubs by the end of the third hole and out of balls. And so I'd just be frustrated. I think.
Yeah, you'd be super frustrated. For sure. And it says the average 18-hole golf course, that's walking 5 miles.
Oh.
So that's walking 5 miles is not an easy task to do. It takes you a long time.
Well, maybe you got to start off and do like putt-putt or,
Yeah.
the driving range.
I like that better.
Yeah, I used to do chip and putt. Like, that's the small version.
I think golf. It sounds like the doctor should just prescribe you walking 5 miles.
Can't he just prescribe a pill? No.
a golf pill?
It seems so much easier.
Yeah,
It could be a green one.
Yeah, that would be nice. I think 5 miles. If the doctor just prescribed that, because that's what they're really getting at, right?
Yeah, they
Get
want you to
outside
walk.
and walk 5 miles. But if he prescribed that to you, that would feel insulting. They'd be
It
like,
would.
get off your lazy fat butt and get up and walk.
First off, easy there.
Yeah, but that's what that's how you would see it if the doctor said that to you, wouldn't
But
you?
imagine the time off you could get with a medical note.
Ooh.
Of, hey, Fridays need to
People
be the golf
love
day.
taking off work to golf.
So
I mean, for
could be
me,
good.
I would love this. This would be great. If I was prescribed to go golf, like maybe on a random Thursday or something, I would absolutely love that. It'd be fantastic for me. I also would still drive the cart, though.
The
There's
problem,
no
though,
way.
you know what your problem is?
What?
You don't have a doctor.
You're right. I don't have a
The
doctor.
minute clinic-
I
You
can't
can't
even
get
be
prescribed
prescribed.
this.
The Minute Clinic is not
No.
prescribing you golfing.
And do you think this would be like with like medical marijuana and stuff like that, where people go in and they are golfers and they're like,
They're trying
no,
to
I
get it."
never golf.
Oh, no, I would never.
What
even is
that
golf?
the thing with clubs?
I guess I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I guess let's see if it works for me.
Yeah. At this point, Doc, I'm willing to try anything.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
And you had a good question come up that you cooked up, and that is, what is something that your pet is afraid of? Like just something that your pet that you like normally they shouldn't be
That's
afraid of.
weird for them to be
that your
afraid
pet is
of.
afraid of. Yeah.
Does Jim have a weird one that you should be keeping private?
Yeah, he has a couple that things he's afraid of. Obviously, he's scared of like the vacuum, as like all
Yeah,
dogs
that's
are.
normal.
Yeah, and so the other two things that he's afraid of that I have in the past used against him, mainly one of them. The first one is a like massage gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's deathly afraid of the massage gun for whatever reason. So, because obviously Jim's a bad dog, when we have guests over, he gets all crazy, right? And like won't leave the guests alone. So what we'll do is we'll just hand the guests
The
massage gun, and we'll just have them hold it.
Nice.
Or sit in their lap, and then Jim will stray away. He will hide in fear.
You are the best dog dad ever.
I know, right?
Well, knowing Isaiah, I can imagine him being like, and while you have the massage gun anyway,
If you want
he's
to.
like backing his back
If
up
you
to-
want to just hit the back while you're here.
You've got it anyway.
Yeah, so he's afraid of the massage gun. We do use that against him. The other thing that he's afraid of that we found out, so this was probably like 6 months ago, I was going on a trip, and we had like these big suitcases that we like brought out into the living room as we were getting ready. He is deathly afraid of suitcases. That might be the scariest thing for him.
You have to analyze that because I think a lot of pets are afraid of suitcases, but it's like an internal thing if they're afraid because you're leaving. So they catch on like you're packing. My dogs are real anxious because they know I'm going somewhere and they're not coming.
Interesting. Jim just is scared of it. He like won't get near it.
Is the
Like, won't
massage
touch it.
gun
So it
in
doesn't
it?
change his attitude. He's just
He's afraid
threatened
of it.
by it.
Yeah, he thinks that it's there to like kill him. That's what he thinks. Like he is afraid, and we did kind of push it a little bit because like when we first brought him out,
Did you put
they
him
like
in?
they like slightly he like slightly like moved a little bit, and then once Jim saw the thing roll, he was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And then so we were like kind of standing near him. We kind of like kicked it towards him, let it kind of roll as if it was a ghost coming at him. Then he was afraid, but I felt kind of bad because obviously Jim was afraid. But at the same time, he puts me through so much torment. I think he deserved it.
It's awful because, with certain pets, you feel like they could get over it, but because you're teasing them with it, they just can't.
Yeah, he won't be able to.
You're
That's
just
fine,
making
though.
it worse.
I need him to fear things because he does not fear me. And so if he's going to fear anything, I need some items in the house that I can use against him.
And what about you, Nikki? You got a lot of pets. What do you got? 4 pets right now?
I have 4 pets, and I've had a lot of pets throughout time.
Yeah.
My current one, Sugar, she's the most timid, and she's the biggest, which is the weirdest. So she's afraid of fire. So if I cook anything on like the gas top, she'll hear the, like the flume.
Yep.
And she'll
You can't
go
say
hide.
that on the radio.
Yeah. Or like if Eric has like a Blackstone, like a smoker,
Yeah.
she'll just go hide away. And then the most frustrating one was when I had Apollos, my Mastiff, big, like he was 160
Yeah,
pounds.
huge.
He was the biggest baby, and he was afraid of blankets. And like, like if you would just flip a blanket to kind of like make it go
Yeah,
across,
dust it or whatever.
practically pee his pants.
And run away.
Just so bad.
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, it's a blanket.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. All right.
So I always tease if someone broke in my house, you're like, all you had to do is just put a blanket and he would be immobilized.
That's wild. Well, I want to see some texts in at 8772 Radio U to see what other people are saying. And I know I pre-planned that we were going to talk about this. And also I heard Isaiah talking about it over the weekend, and I still haven't thought of my answer.
You haven't thought of one for
Zafira's not afraid of anything?
No, she's definitely afraid. So give me one more minute to gather
I'll
my
tell you
thoughts.
some other ones too
Yeah.
from people. So then maybe she's got one of those.
Jog your memory.
We'll get to that next.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
What is something that's not scary that your pet is afraid of? Isaiah, for his dog Jim, you said suitcases,
Massage gun.
massage gun,
Vacuum.
obviously vacuum
You
cleaner,
told us off air the mop.
The mop.
the mop.
Pretty much anything that would clean in the house,
Yeah.
he's afraid of. So
Has a
cleaning
long
time.
stick?
Yeah, cleaning time is a scary time for Jim.
And then for your dogs, Nikki, you had
We've had a blanket.
Blanket, that's right.
And fire.
All right, and we've getting a lot of good texts in as well. Go ahead, share some of those.
So Justin's lab is afraid of water. Won't go to the lake, which you're like, oh, that's not the worst, but just think baths. Won't get a bath.
oh, yeah.
Without that being traumatic. Alex's dog wants to attack when you get a new trash bag out. I think that's great.
That's a good one.
When you do the shaking?
Yeah, it's kind of like the blanket. I get it.
Bridget's dog, Espresso, is afraid of laundry baskets. And of course, they chase her with it.
Of course, yeah.
You've got to really make sure the fear doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Aaron's, I love this one. This is so cute. Aaron's German Shepherd is fearless unless it's a balloon that's slightly low on helium.
Oh, my gosh.
I think that's so cute. Aaron's dog, Gibson, is terrified of smoke. So cooking, or like if you're out for a walk and there's a bonfire, will not pass the source of the fire.
For those are some good ones. They've reminded me the German Shepherd with the balloon. My dog also isn't afraid of all balloons, But if you, like, I remember a time there was a balloon that was like barely peeking up, floating over the back of a reclining chair.
Yeah.
And so she barked and barked and barked at that thing. And then, of course, we didn't move it for a while because that was hilarious. And also, we had a time where we used to live in a place with a skylight and where it vaulted up really high, and a balloon got stuck up there. And again, she barked and barked. She doesn't bark at all balloons, but she did not like the balloon being stuck up there.
That's too much.
But also, my dog is afraid of spray air freshener.
Oh, really? The sound of it?
That's for a while we would go ahead and use that if she was barking, because she barks a ton, right? So she is barking out the window at the UPS guy.
So you're spraying her?
We didn't spray it on her. That'd be cruel.
Yeah,
but we sprayed it. We just sprayed in the air.
I spray Jim all the time with Febreze. He hates it, but it's the only way to make him smell good.
So then if I'm coming to your house and it smells super good, I know that's because Zafir was being bad.
The dog was barking her head off, But I think she's still afraid of it, but it's also like it never stopped her from stopping barking in the first place.
Yeah.
It only stopped once she started. So that's the tough thing. But it would be funny because sometimes you could you didn't even need the spray. You just hold it up.
And
hold
she'll
up the
know.
can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's
That's
like, I
what we
guess I
do
better
with Jim.
stop.
When he's acting crazy and following around to whoever our guest is that's over, I'll just go grab the massage gun. I'm like, you want to do this? You want to do this? No.
Daddies will embarrass you.
All of a sudden, he'll stop and stare at me. He's like, no, don't. And then I'll just hand it to that person, and then he will leave them alone.
Well, Regina mentioned for their cat scared of the doorbell. So if they ever want the cat to not go near the door, you just ring the doorbell and the cat goes away. Jocelyn says, my Havanese Eden flips out when the windshield wipers are on. Oh, yeah. That's good.
I'm talking of cats because mostly it's been dogs. Has anybody, Nikki, you have a cat.
Yeah.
You ever done that thing with the cucumber? Where you put the cucumber behind the cat and then it freaks out?
Yes, my cats have never been bothered by it.
Doesn't bother them?
No, but I've always had cats that are very much dog-like.
Oh, yeah.
So they tend to not, they're not afraid of just if something's suddenly over in the corner.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try that, but I don't have a cat, so...
You want to borrow her or him?
Nor do I have cucumbers.
I could give you a few. No. I'll find you one.
Yeah. It would have probably gone viral on TikTok, too, several years ago.
I know. You could have had a viral video.
Yeah. Well, I like this discussion. Our pets are a bunch of, I don't know.
Demons,
Babies.
Gremlins, what do you want?
Babies.
You know what,
Weenies.
though? Remember, whose fault is it?
It's the
It's our
parents.
fault.
Yeah. And I don't know how. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to soak it. I
Which
don't know if it's my
means
fault.
If we weren't good, it was our parents' fault.
That's true. That's true.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
This is one of those things, to me, I just have to laugh at it. And that is, in the App Store right now, there's an app that is rising up the charts and definitely making some waves. It's called Historical Figures Chat. Mm-hmm. It's an artificial intelligence chat bot that lets you chat with different historical figures, like, say, Henry Ford, for example, or Princess Diana, Carrie Fisher, Hitler, Jesus, those type of, I feel like Carrie Fisher, I don't know, there's a wide range.
Sure.
But people who are no longer with us.
You can have a chat with the AI version of them.
That's supposed to mimic what it would actually be like to talk with these folks now. And some people, I think if you go into this, you just have to know what you're getting into. It's definitely not educational.
It's not. It's weird because I'm reading through the Henry Ford one.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, so do you want to fight with an AI bot?
Right.
Because the Henry Ford one comes across as no, he wasn't that bad when he was known for being somewhat bad.
Yeah. Well, apparently.
So I'm afraid people are only going to want to chat with controversial historical older figures.
Right. Well, the Henry Ford one, so what this one person did was apparently he had a streak of anti-Semitism. And so they're accusing him of this. And it's almost like.
Or asking. Maybe the person was just asking.
But it's almost like. It's the PR guy for Henry Ford
responding
being
back.
well, I think that's kind of blown out of proportion. Some things were attributed to me, but that's not really how I feel. It's Now, to be fair, if Henry Ford was still with us, maybe he would. That's how he would talk about it. Try to cover his tracks a little bit.
He owned a newspaper where he wrote several articles that were just awful.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, but those didn't reflect. The chatbot is replying back. And then the person's like, yeah, but you own the paper.
Yeah. So why did you let him be public? It is wild. He says, that person says, you definitely wouldn't want to use this in a classroom. I don't think anybody's actually going to do that,
No,
though.
but if you like to have conversations with people on forums, like posts, things like that, you might enjoy something like this. If you want to fight with someone who's no longer with us.
Yeah, it is. If you just look at it for some kind of entertainment value, I don't think it's the worst thing. Although you do kind of have to have, in a way, a twisted sense of humor to even understand some of it. But the other thing I was wondering about is first of all,
not to interrupt you, but did you see the Lyndon B. Johnson one?
No, I didn't.
The person's question to Lyndon B. Johnson, tell me about the pants you tried to buy once. There it is.
That's a great question. I would love to know that.
Well, there's a whole answer there.
Yeah, I also and some people have had fun with it where I don't know which Egyptian pharaoh this is they're talking to, but they say, tell me your history. And so, the Egyptian pharaoh gives their story. And then the person asks, say that again in a Jamaican accent. And it does? The same story in a Jamaican accent, which is amazing. But this app, you definitely have to question it a little bit because, of course, some of it is behind a paywall.
Yeah, so they're saying Hitler is
you
500
have to pay
coins.
to talk to Hitler, which is a wild thing. And then this is what I was wondering. When you see this, it's hopefully nobody's taking this seriously. But what if somebody's talking to Hitler and they're like, oh, maybe it's the type of person that's that isn't so oh, Hitler wasn't so bad. Maybe he had some good ideas. And then if you're talking to Hitler, you would imagine if Hitler was still alive, he would be like, yeah, I still feel this way I felt back in the day, which would be horrible. You wouldn't want that. So there are some figures where Heinrich Himmler, who was also involved in the Holocaust, and he says, I deeply regret this. Now you're getting these historical figures to apologize, which doesn't seem realistic either. But I don't know. It's just a weird dynamic.
It's weird. Well, they said that people have now kind of really understood that the chatbot, the model that it's trained in, it knows when the certain people that you're asking about, if they're bad. So then it goes from there. Those individuals are kind of treated differently with its creation compared to just someone else in history who maybe is not as controversial.
There was, there's definitely a difference. It looks like if you're talking to somebody that was involved in Nazi Germany versus Carrie Fisher, who, by the way, refutes her own autobiography if you ask her about it as well.
These things, the chatbot stuff is just so popular now.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun, but it's bizarre to say the least. But that's out there. Historical Figures Chat. If you'd like to see what it'd be like to talk to Carrie Fisher,
you can download the app.
Yeah, it's available to you.
Or not.
Or pay to talk to Hitler.
No.
The Riot Radio U.
Today is National Pie Day. And so it begs the question, what is your favorite pie?
It's too bad whoever brought the cupcakes in today did not get the pie message. We could have had pie today.
They didn't have this marked on the calendar.
Did you see the cupcakes in there?
I haven't seen the cupcakes. They look good?
Yeah, they look good. They look good. They got a green icing on them.
Ooh.
Yellow cake. They look tasty, but we're not here to talk cupcakes.
No,
we're here
we're
to
on a
talk.
pie.
We're talking pie.
Favorite pie. So do you guys have a favorite? I know you have a favorite. What is your favorite pie? You can also text in, of course, at 8772 RadioU.
Not to start off with the weird one, but chicken pot pie does count. And I do love it.
Yes,
it does.
No,
You would not do that.
I like the way you're thinking.
And I think a good pot pie on a really nice chilly day, that sounds good.
There's nothing else to be said. Nikki just came in with a galaxy brain
pie?
take.
What?
And yes, I would take a good chicken pot pie
over any other pie?
Any dessert
pie. That is a lie.
Listen,
in fact, it can't be a dessert pie. Why not?
On National Pie Day, you could have pot pie and a normal dessert pie all in the same meal.
That's right.
Really celebrate the right way.
You can have a whole meal of pie.
Well, then what do you think's better?
Nikki took my answer. I didn't even think of that answer, but it's the right answer. I don't have anything
You think chicken
to add.
pot pie is really the right answer?
Yes, I do.
You think it's the number one? That's the best pie. You would take that over anything.
If you're telling me I've got a nice, either
Warm,
there's two,
crusty.
either a nice crust,
It's
like
so
a flaky
un-American
crust,
of you.
or a biscuity. That's how my mom used to make it, with a biscuit crust on top.
Nice.
Oh, I'd take that over. I'd take that over any
You
dessert
take that
pie.
over what would be obviously the best pie, the apple pie.
Oh, is that what yours is?
I would say it's not my favorite pie, but I think it's the best. I think it's the best pie.
I think you have the most chance of enjoying it.
Yeah,
just
it's a
'cause
traditional.
It's really hard to get that
Yeah.
wrong.
It's gonna hit like every time. And like my grandmother's apple pie, my nana's apple pie, unbeaten, undefeated. It's like the best
Where's
pie.
she at today with this?
I know.
thing?
I wish you could cook it up for me. That'd be fantastic.
I mean, I enjoy
Bake it
apple
up.
pie.
Yeah, bake it up.
Yeah.
Bake it up.
I enjoy apple pie, but I don't think I would enjoy an apple pie more than I would enjoy a chicken pot pie.
I threw that in. It's
That's
thrown
crazy.
you having
I
it.
was not expecting that, but I'm still in shock over how good of an answer that is.
Well, what about, let's go with maybe a key lime pie.
Man.
No, cherry pie?
Overrated.
I like cherry pie.
Yeah, all right.
Pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie is good.
Might have been my answer if you hadn't come in here with the chicken pot pie.
Peanut
think it's
butter
good.
pie?
Peanut butter
Peanut butter
pie
pie is
is my
good.
that was right there for my favorite pie.
It's good.
I think I might just rather have a scoop of peanut butter though.
Ooh.
And a peanut butter pie.
Yeah.
See, I love peanut butter pie. I think it's so good. A little frosting on top. Oh, it's my favorite.
Is there any other entries into? I mean, there's a lot of pie.
I always like coconut cream pie, but I feel like that's the one my grandmother always had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if do I like it myself or
Yeah.
do I just can't not like it because I loved my grandmother.
Yeah.
I think blackberry pie is pretty good if you've ever had a blackberry pie. I'm a fan of that. I think also if you add vanilla ice cream to any of the fruit pies, as in like cherry,
Yeah.
blackberry, apple pie,
And they're
then it's like
warm and
it's a whole nother level.
It's another experience, and it's a good one.
It's
That's
a
for
fantastic
sure.
one.
Well, I've got a couple who are texting in. So do you want a second and I'll give you those?
Yeah, let's wheel back around to that.
Okay.
But I'll leave you with the idea of putting some ice cream on top of a chicken pot pie. 8772 Radio U,
No, you
National
put sour
Pie Day.
cream or something.
On chicken pot pie.
Listen, all we're just telling you this, guys, is now you have something to plan for later on today.
Yeah, that's right.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
You can text in and let us know, what is your favorite pie?
So it is Pie Day.
It is National Pie Day. It's not Pie Day like 3.14.
No, it's not
We don't
that.
care about
We'll
that.
celebrate that on March 14th.
Okay. But National Pie Day, we're talking favorite pies. Isaiah, wait, what was your favorite pie?
See, I think I've switched my answer.
So it's not apple pie anymore?
Apple pie, I think, is the traditional, best pie overall, I think. But it's not my favorite pie. Peanut butter pie was right there for me. It's
Yeah.
could have been it.
I
But
knew
I think I flipped my answer all the way because we had a text in. They reminded me of my favorite pie, which I would consider cheesecake would be probably my favorite.
So you want to count cheesecake as a pie?
I think cheesecake counts as a pie, yeah. And I think it's probably my favorite.
One, plain cheesecake, or
I would do a plain cheesecake with maybe like a raspberry drizzle or something like
that's
that.
your
Some sort of
favorite
fruit
pie?
or some sort of fruit drizzle on top. Yeah, I think it's my
well,
favorite.
first of all, cheesecake isn't a pie. And second of all, I don't have anything else, but it's not a pie. It's not a pie.
I think it's
a cake.
considered a pie.
It doesn't even have pie
Now,
in the name.
Before you argue with him, maybe don't because we'll give some more options and then he might just switch again.
maybe
That's
I'll
right.
change it
He's
again.
clearly very wishy-washy
I think
on
it
the
makes
subject.
sense. I think it adds a little filling. There's a crust. It seems like a pie to me.
Well, that was Marco who said, I don't know if it counts, but cheesecake is my absolute favorite.
counts.
It's
I think.
literally called cake. It's
If
in the
not-
name.
Yeah, but it has a crust.
Pumpkin is the other backup for the
Ooh,
pie.
okay.
Well, we'll go with that one.
D
Pumpkin.
says chocolate meringue pie. Gosh, doesn't everything sound good?
It does.
Chocolate meringue.
We
that
got
does sound
a
good.
vote for cranberry cherry pie. Mark says an Oreo pie.
Ooh.
That could be
Love a
good.
I want to know what
chocolatey
that
pie.
looks like. but I
Max says
think that's it.
cherry or any kind of berries.
Okay. Any
Like
berry?
that? Yes.
I like a
Yeah,
berry
easy to
pie.
please.
I like
easy
it.
to please.
A fruit pie.
And then now everybody's getting into their mom stuff. Ayola says, love my mom's pumpkin pie. Jeff says pecan pie, his mom's.
Oh, now that's a good one.
That was good too. And then Susanna says a rhubarb pie, obviously. Susanna, that's not obvious to us.
Rhubarb pie. I don't even know what that
Strawberry
is.
rhubarb. Not even
It's those
not even
long-
strawberry rhubarb.
It's rhubarb. It's the stalks that look like celery.
Yeah.
with it. I see it now.
Yeah,
Meh.
Where would rhubarb be if it wasn't for strawberry?
I don't
It'd
know.
be out in the cold, not eaten by anybody.
It feels like a very, I don't know, just not our pie thing.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't.
We can only do apple
It's
or
like if
cherry.
someone said, I'm cooking radishes for dinner. You'd be like, what are you, a
Yum.
character from Winnie the Pooh? What is going on?
Radishes.
Shoe fly pie came up. I think Justin texted that in. And I don't know if I've ever had shoe fly pie, but it looks good. It's like molasses and cinnamon and brown sugar, basically.
Oh my gosh, that feels
Just
like
sugar.
rhubarb.
Pretty much
Oh,
sugar.
I've seen this before. I don't know if I've
Yeah.
had this. I feel like I have. I think it's good. It
It
looks good.
And I was looking through also a list of like pie, like supposedly the top pie recipes. And there's a tiramisu icebox pie.
What's that?
So you need ladyfingers, coffee, and mascarpone, and then you put them into like a pie form.
You know, down the road, there's a pie place.
Is there?
Yeah.
It's all pies.
You think they have a deal today?
Ooh,
Actually, that was
a
another thing.
deal.
I was looking up pie deals. There's no deals that are special for National Pie Day, but if you go to Perkins every Monday, today's a Monday.
Well, this feels like 80 years old.
Yeah, it does.
What's a Perkins?
Perkins.
Perkins. I know
is still
Perkins.
open. Tiger
like-
Woods
I like a
loves
good
it.
No,
Perkins.
it's like Bob Evans.
It is. It's like off-brand Bob Evans.
But look, if you go to Perkins any Monday,
Who has a Perkins?
between 11 a.m. and 9 p.m., you can get a free slice of pie with a purchase.
Today?
Okay.
Today only? Or
Yeah,
any Monday?
Any
Okay, well,
Monday.
that's not really all that special.
No,
then.
but it's the best I could find.
Fine.
Well, Isaiah, I know you're not eating out as much. Can you imagine the special day, though, if you went to Perkins
Ooh, went to
today?
Perkins, get yourself a pie.
You
Feel
haven't been
real
able to get
Ask your
that.
grandmother to go with you. She'd probably enjoy that.
Oh, she'd love that.
Yeah, take your mom to Perkins today.
No, it has to be a grandparent.
Grandma.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like a mom thing.
And you just go for coffee and pie.
Aww.
It costs like $3.89.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
it.
outing.
Oh, that sounds like a nice day.
Happy National Pie Day.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.